Damien Hines.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. And the full return of schools on the 8th of March is much more than a waypoint on our roadmap. I very much welcome it and the safety measures in place. Can I congratulate my honourable friend and neighbour from Winchester on how he, at no notice, opened this debate, and join with him in noting the can-do attitude of local school leaders and thanking teachers in East Hampshire as elsewhere for all that they continue to do. This isn't just about a cohort of children, it's about our children, it's about the future of our country. And as we rebuild for those children, schools and teachers obviously will be in the lead, but we can't put all the responsibility on them. It is a shared national endeavour in which everyone is responsible. Of course, it's about schools, but it's not only about schools. We need to think in terms of a plan for children. In government terms, that takes in the Department of Health, DCMS and others, but it also goes far wider. I welcome the money announced by my right honourable friend yesterday, but it's also not all about money. Partly it is about time, but we can't just cram our way through this. There are limits on how much you can lengthen days or terms. Attention spans themselves have limits, and holidays are important too. But there is a role for those, and there are plenty of things that can be done outside the normal school day, which are an equally important part of development and growing up. My right honourable friend is quite right to leave the discretion to individual schools. But there are things government can facilitate to get everyone talking about how everyone is involved. I'd like to propose a few areas. Firstly, there's going to need to be more people to help on things like the tutoring programme. It's been hard recently finding supply teachers, let alone those for additional tutoring. And there are lots of people in this country who have a PGC already but are not currently teaching. And I hope the department can work out a simplified route for those that want to be able to come back to the profession, including some refresher training. Secondly, alongside professionals, we need a volunteer army. A lot happens, of course, in schools already with volunteer readers, STEM ambassadors, mentoring programs, and so on. We don't need to replace those things, but we need to see how we can grow them and be yet more ambitious. I'd like every organisation and company in this country to have as a board meeting item to discuss how can we support this great endeavour for our children. It might be giving staff time for mentoring or careers advice, but it could also be, as with the Hungry Little Minds campaign, where companies have worked at how they can in their business activity help to support early literacy development. It's about much more than classwork. It's about mental health, as my honourable friend said, and it's getting children active again, working with national governing bodies and local clubs. It's not just for capturing work, it's to get children back on track, to rebuild opportunity, broaden horizons, and get back to childhood at the same time. It's a big task and a big ask, one we all have a role in.